The secret library is not just a hunting ground, it's also a questline with 4 normal bosses and 1 final boss. Here's how to do Lokathmor. This boss is located in the entrance to the energy section, and is the hardest boss of the library, even harder than the final. For this boss I recommend over level 600 in average, ideally with a high level to help, because this boss is heavily dependent on damage done. In terms of equipment, most of the damage comes in physical and death, but like I said, since the damage you do is the most important, rather than building defensively, you want to go aggressive and put on magic level equipment for mages and full damage in the night as well. Upon entering the room, the boss will be alone. Mages go to the north wall and attack with SDs and spells. The knowledge raiders are summons that will continue to spawn throughout the fight, and mages should try to hit them with their waves when possible. They are not the focus of the fight, but you can't let too many be on the run or it will be messy. After 20 seconds, you will be teleported to the middle and surrounded by magic walls. So when this happens, you want the mages to get in position right away so that they can wave the magic walls to the west. Ideally, before you even pull the lever, you want to discuss which square each person will be using inside the end walls. This way, everyone will know where to go and be able to wave uncontested. It's important to be organized, because that will help in killing the magic wall faster. You want to destroy the wall in the middle of the left side and go out through there, because first of all, the boss, while he is in the middle of the stock, he will be casting a death UE that increases in damage over time, so the longer you're inside, the more damage you take. On this clip, we were not organized at all, and it was our first time doing it, and as you can see, 2 people died before even making it out. The UE starts with 750 damage, but after casting it 4 times, it starts doing 4k damage. So before then, you can be off mana shield, but if you see you're taking too long, make sure to mana shield and put an SSA on. Also be aware you're not fully safe until you are 2 squares away from the magic walls, as the UE still hits the squares close to it on the outside, as you can see on this clip. It's important to be on point with this part, because it's something that will be repeated non-stop until the boss dies. When you get out the first time, go straight left and the EK should go for the Dark Knowledge book, and everyone needs to focus on it. When it dies, it leaves a paper on its place. Throw that to somebody close to the desk with the book in the left wall. This is the second mechanic that you must do. Using the paper on the desk will activate it, and then right clicking on the desk is what will remove the magic walls and unlock the boss. However, for the first time you do this, do not use the desk right away. Instead, wait a few seconds for the book to respawn again. And when it respawns, then use the desk and untrap the boss. Now, the EK must grab the boss and the book together. This way, the mages will be able to wave both the book and the boss at the same time. Doing this will make the boss a lot easier, because in reality, the book is the priority and the boss is secondary. However, focusing in just one at a time with SDs will make you run out of time, which by the way, this boss has a time limit of 15 minutes. Also, another benefit of making the mages focus on using waves is that it will help with clearing the summons from the room, and that's also important. The knight and paladin can target the boss, but when the knight struggles to get the book early, then the call must be made to start focusing on the book instead. You must always kill the book and use the paper on the desk, because 20 seconds after untrapping the boss, once again you will be teleported to the middle. Here you focus on the magic wall just like before, and from now on you want to have a designated player be in charge of using the desk. It can be anyone, but my recommendation is to use somebody with a speed boost or a good ping. That person will have to leave and go straight to the desk and use it. That's assuming you use the paper in advance. Doing that will drop the magic walls and the boss will get on trap and stop casting the UE, which is why this is so important, as that will reduce the risk for the rest of the team. Just in case, the mages can and should be trying to get out before the magic walls drop, but if everyone tries to rush out without organization, then it will be a mess. Always let the person designated to the desk head out first and then follow him after. In this video, the person in charge of that mechanic is Confetbog, which was one of the paladins. As a knight, I prefer staying inside, because then as soon as the boss gets on trap, then I will reset and then go for the book after. That made it easier for me to get them both and easier for the mage to wave. Also, since the book will be next to the knight most of the times, it's important that when it dies, the knight throws the paper close to the desk and the designated player should be next to it and then use it right away. However, just remember to use only the paper on the desk. that will leave it activated. And then when you go back to the middle and leave from the magic walls, that's when the desk is used to drop the magic walls. If you mess this up, like this part of the video, due to my bad positioning and the fact that we didn't focus on the book on time, it died right as the magic walls went up and the paladin couldn't use it on time, because the page only lasts for a few seconds if it's not used. Because of that, we had to restart it like the first time. Everyone goes out, kills the book, and uses the paper, and then waits for the book to respawn, and then use the desk to untrap the boss and attack them together. Also, be aware that the magic walls reflect damage, so you don't want to use UEs while they're up. You will have to tank the damage reflected from the waves, but it's important to use them, as they still go past the walls and hit some of the creatures outside as well. When the magic wall of the middle is destroyed, then switch to avalanches and waves towards the outside, so that you clear some of the summons and make it easier to leave and move around. Basically, from the moment you start this boss, you must be using a spell or a rune on every attack turn available. This boss also has a life drain chain that he casts often, but it's pretty hard to avoid getting hit by it. Just be aware of that, and if the knight has a bit of room to move away from the mages, then do that, so that the life leech of the boss is reduced. But try not to be in the middle, because the summons will still be there when you get trapped at the walls, and they won't take the squares needed for the mages to wave. That's everything you need to know, and it was a lot to unpack. But like I said, this is the hardest boss from the library, and in my opinion, the hardest boss in the game outside of the Soul War area. This boss, just like the others, drops in average 250 to 300k in normal drops, with the additional rare drops for special demon bones, and this one in particular has a chance of dropping a storybook, which is needed for the add-on of the Battle Mage outfit. With that said, that's all I got for this one. Make sure to check out the other videos of the series for the rest of the bosses. Thank you for watching, and if you want to support the channel, consider subscribing or supporting directly with Tibia coins to Gudii donation. Thank you and see you again.